This is my presentation on academic advising and credit transfers. So before you meet with your student, an advisor should understand and be well versed on school policies and what there is to offer. You have to know what you're talking about. Obviously, you won't be perfect, but just be prepared and knowledgeable. Look over a student's basic profile. You kind of just get to know them ahead of time. You could be better prepared for what challenges or questions they may bring up. You may not have every single detail, but just like a basic idea. Communicate with the student to let them know how to prepare for the meeting. So just ahead of time, just shoot them an email, tell them over the phone of kind of how to prepare, um, so you can better assist them. So the student advisor meeting, when you're actually together, listen, get to know the student, know their ambitions, their goals. Are they working? Do they have a family? They're probably juggling multiple roles besides being a student. So that kind of helps you understand how to help them as well. Go over their education and career goals, and advise about the importance of selecting a major and transfer destination early on in a meeting like a 4U university. You could tailor these questions a little to better work with the student because each student is different. One might come in knowing exactly what they want to do, while others may are just a little leery of what to do. So these are the three questions. What three majors appeal to the student? Is the student aware of the labor market outcomes for each major? And does the student intend to select a major prior to transferring to a 4-year college? So some students might have a harder time deciding, only have a basic idea of what direction they want to take. But then just notice the importance of understanding if they're ultimately attending a 4-year university. If you care, they care. We do a lot behind the scenes, or we will. Having supportive faculty and advisors is just as important as having a teacher who cares about the student. Faculty development is thus a central component to the student success agenda, and having an internal support system in school is important for the student morale and success. Schools and advisors should work together to make sure students keep the same advisors throughout the journey. That way, there is better understanding and closer relationships while in school. And if a student has the same advisor throughout their journey, that advisor knows them well and knows how to help them, versus if they had multiple advisors, it can be kind of hard with the communication and trust factor as well. I came up with these points for after the meeting. They're kind of simple but important. They have just have an open door policy, obviously when possible. Um, Let your student know your door is always open. Be there for them. Of course, you're going to be juggling multiple students and tasks, but just make it a goal to check in with your student. Maybe see their preferred method of communication so they're comfortable with how they communicate with you as well, so they're not feeling overwhelmed. Be an advocate. So as an advisor, I said before, we're going to be doing things behind the scenes at meetings and having relationships with like external sources, like maybe even local government, definitely 4-year universities. Advocate, research, and fight for programs and funding that will help them succeed. This includes proper credit transfer programs. So just speak up in meetings, share ideas with faculty and administrators. Change is good and can be for the better. You, as an advisor, can make a difference. Building bridges. Understand your students' goals and get an idea of what 4-year university they plan to transfer to if that's in their plan. Community colleges may partner with university advisors to provide transfer advising. Building relationships with other advisors and faculty from 4-year universities can help the credit transfer process. So when your student is closer to completing their community college journey, start touching base with them and their university that they're hoping to transfer to. Build that bridge between them and the university, and then as well as strengthening the community college's relationship with the university for future students to be accepted as well. Having higher success in credit transfers. Students who transfer the majority of earned credits have a 2.5 times greater likelihood of graduation than similar students who had less than half their credits transferred. I imagine it'd be frustrating to be working hard on classes and getting credits completed, finding out that they didn't even transfer over, or at least a chunk of them over to the university. That would be disheartening, and that could burn someone out as well. Motivate students to decide early on their journey to pick a major to work towards. Support a simpler pathway model program to ease the transition and transfer from a community college to university. This can be known as a guided pathway program. Encourage students to get an associate's degree before transferring to a four-year university. So first, touching base on, if you see that your school's transferring system isn't going great, speak up and find ways, work with administrators, whoever you need with, to have an easier program to transfer those credits. Work with your four universities around you and the ones that your students have the goal to attend. See what their programs are like so you can better assist your student so they can get their credits transferred over. But I think it's really important to advise them to get their associate's degree. So that's set in stone and more likely to transfer over. I had mentioned in a discussion board that my dad encouraged me to have my associates on paper, even though I was still continuing to be at the Ford University that I did the prereqs at as well. You just never know what happens in life. And having that associate's degree to fall back on can be better for working as well, to have on your resume, because you never know what life brings. The guided pathway program model can, one, help students choose and enter program pathway, two, map pathways to student end goals, and three, keep students on path. So having a simpler credit transfer system can create a guided pathway program, which helps with retention and the ultimate goal of graduating. So I just wanted to close with this quote. Um, it was advice given to students regarding academic advisors. Your relationship with your academic advisor is based on respect, trust, and a mutual understanding of each of your responsibilities. And although this is directed towards students, I believe this goes both ways. You need to have trust in each other, respect each other, and a mutual understanding. Both of you are important to the college, and you need each other to succeed. There's my works cited. Thank you.